There should be almost no marinade that does not have a touch of balsamic, period. A very important part of any marinade is the acidic component, and the beautiful thing about balsamic vinegar of Modena is that it is complex. It is acidic, and at the same time, it has a sweetness to it and a depth of flavor that is unlike any other acid. Marinades are good for adding flavor as well as tenderizing and preserving proteins. I've created 3 that showcase the flavor of balsamic. One marinade is for meat, like skirt steak, veal, or London broil. It combines the tang of balsamic with Dijon, shoyu, and lemon. Another is a sweet-sour recipe good for veggies, featuring pineapple juice, brown sugar, crushed garlic cloves, and tamari, which is a wheat-free soy sauce, alongside the balsamic and olive oil. The third recipe is for whole and ancient grains like quinoa, millet, and bulgur, using the aged balsamic with garlic oil, a bit of mustard, sugar, and bright flavors like dill and currants. When selecting the balsamic for any marinade, consider how it will be used. For example, aged balsamic is more like a syrup and a little sweeter, so it works well with grain dishes that call for a richer element. I'm going for extra depth here, so I've chosen to use the aged for a grain salad because it will function as a highlight of the dish. It is best to marinate the grains when they're still warm so that it will really be absorbed into the grain. For the meat recipe, combine and emulsify the oil with a whisk and refrigerate in the completed marinade for 3 to 4 hours. For the steak, I'm using the lighter, matured balsamic because it is coming out of the marinade and getting grilled. Since we aren't directly tasting the balsamic on this recipe, I don't need the heaviness I did with the grains. It's more so sinking into the meat for the tenderization. The amount of time to marinate something is very important. When marinating veggies, simply toss them briefly so they don't become soggy when grilled, compared to steak, which takes several hours to infuse and tenderize. Over-marinating effectively changes the texture. Remember, a marinade needs an acidic component and layered flavors. And whatever the recipe, it always calls for balsamic.